Alright, Middle-Aged White Guy Reacts is back again today with another video for you. And today is a Tom's Day, and on Tom's Day, on this Tom's Day, everybody gets balloons. Alright, so we have Balloons by Tom MacDonald. This song is off of his, one of his new albums, alright? He has two that he released. It's off one of them. I can't remember which one. I have a 6-disc changer in my car. I put them in when I got them in the mail. And I didn't look which one I put in which slot. So I just know this is disc 5 in my car. So if anybody, I mean, I'm sure you all know which album it comes off of. You guys will put it in the comments. But to me, this song is one of the best off of those two albums. I mean, it's up there. Okay. So a lot of his music, to me, it depends on my mood. All right. It's how I'll like rank his songs for that day. So I want to say this is probably borderline top 5 off of those two albums and easily a top 10. And it's interesting. He goes into some stuff in this song that, leads me to believe that he isn't necessarily well. Okay. And he puts on a front even to this day. Now, there's other songs off those albums where he goes deeper into that topic and kind of really shows, pulls back the curtain a bit more. All right. And Tom is not well, people. Okay. He's not well. Even though everything's looking great for him, he still struggles. All right. And I think that's the point of putting out songs like this, just to show that even from the outside looking in, you might think that it's all fine and dandy, and everything's fine. And we come to find out that, hey, there's still all these underlying issues. And he's going to go into some of them. And, I've probably talked long enough. So let's get into this reaction. Let's let him tell it. And we'll comment on it, I guess, at parts. Like I said, I've heard this song plenty at this point. So this is not like my first reaction to it. First reaction to the music video, I guess. But, all right, let's go. Let's get right into this.
Miss the days when no one even knew my name. Now everywhere I go, I wear a hat to hide my face. I got weapons hidden inside.
That's some good editing right there. All right, that's some nice editing. The balloon head sort of deal. That's funny.
Name. Now everywhere I go, I wear a hat to hide my face. I got weapons hidden inside every room in my place. Now I have to keep a pistol on me always, just in case. This is a nightmare. Never expected the fame to be something I would wrestle with and fight to embrace. Sometimes I feel like the love I get's outweighed by the hate. I hid the tears, but I can't hide from the pain. I'm working 20-hour days.
All right, so he's talking like he struggles with the fame, and with this fame has come maybe an added sense of paranoia. Okay, he's talking about how he has to keep weapons on him all the time. He walks in public and tries to hide his face. And he's sick of being recognized and all this stuff, and that's something that, we're never going to have to really deal with in our day-to-day lives. Like not being able to go out into public and buy a gallon of milk without being accosted by, a dozen fans. All right. So it would be, especially if you're more a private person, like I feel like Tom would want to be, I know he shows himself obviously, but I just feel like he's the type of guy who just wants to go out in public, do what he has to do, and come home, and not have to stop and talk and shake hands with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that walk by him. So yeah, that's just a weird struggle that 99.99999% of us will never understand. And is it worth millions of dollars? I mean, it's easy for us to say, well, you give me millions of dollars and, people can bug me in public all they want until you actually are in that situation. So that's definitely a layer of difficulty that has been added on top of the problems that he already brought into this before he was famous.
I hid the tears, but I can't hide from the pain. I'm working 20-hour days, can't even lie to y'all, I'm burnt out. Asleep on my weight bench, trying to find the strength to work out. Should be happy I'm successful, I just went and bought my first house. Thought money would help cure my depression, but it's worse, how?
All right, so, and I've said this in other videos that the man's going to burn himself out. I think I'm pretty sure I've said it in other videos that, you know, the pace he sets, it's going to lead to burnout. But I believe he has to work in order to keep his demons suppressed. All right. So it's basically just like an addiction, like alcohol was for him. It's just replaced the alcohol. So there's still going to be consequences, you know? So, you know, like you said, he's working 20-hour days and he's burnt out. And like, yes, man, you probably are. You could take some time off and, you know, your fans are still going to be there for you. But like I said, I think there's a more psychological need for him to work than it is just about working and being productive.
Lucky I don't have a manager because I'll be firing him. Tired of talking to other.
Oh, hold on, let me back up.
Worse, how? Tired of it. Lucky I don't have a manager because I'll be firing him. Tired of talking to other artists who just want to tell me I'm inspiring them. Parents keep telling me they have a kid.
Okay, that, you know, is that a response to Loza? Or from Dear Tom, was it? Is that a response to Loza, who used essentially that same line, like "you inspire me" or something like that in that song? It's just kind of funny, his attitude about it, like, you know, it's great that I'm inspiring you, but I got my own shit to deal with, essentially, is you know, the point he kind of makes, and it's kind of harsh how he does it. You know, he does it in an aggressive tone and kind of dismissively, which I understand. You know, it's like, you know, when you're not even right yourself, the last thing you're going to worry about is somebody else. You know, it's like, it's great that I'm inspiring you, but I can't even be inspired with myself right now. So, you know, good for you, man. What do you want me to say? It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it was directed at Loza or just in general. It's just a very interesting bar, and the way he delivers that is interesting.
Tired of talking to other artists who just want to tell me I'm inspiring them. Parents keep telling me they have a kid and they're thankful the child is admiring me. Great. Want to know how I feel? I might kill myself before retiring. I'm in the clouds. I can't reach the ground. They're coming in crowds. Blew me up like a balloon and let me go. Watch me float away while I scream no. Every time I get close, they pull out their phones. Like maybe this time we can see them explode. Blew me up like a balloon and let me go. They all throwing rocks cause they tryna poke holes. They wanna see me pop, they don't wanna see me blow. They're the reason that I'm gone, they don't wanna see me go. Blew me up like a balloon and left me.
All right, so, you know, he basically ended it there. It's like, you know, it's great that, you know, your kid looks up to me or whatever, but, you know, I might even just kill myself before I retire. He might kill himself by working himself to death, you know, in order to be a role model for your child, or literally, you know, just might end himself, which he has said in other songs, like he would never do it, but it's always in the context of, it's in the context of, like, in spite of his haters, essentially. Like, he couldn't do it because then he would let them win, essentially. It's never because he doesn't want to, you know? Like, I'm not trying to say anything about that, you know? Like, I'm not trying to say that's what he wants to do or he struggles with those thoughts. But, like I said, just his lyrics in a lot of these songs leads me to believe there's a lot of underlying issues still that he has not himself dealt with. And this rocket has taken off pretty quick for him lately. And has he had time to properly process everything and learn how to cope with all this new stuff that's been going on? I don't know. You know, it's worrisome. It's worrisome because, you know, this is, at this time, you could say this is my favorite artist. So to know that he kind of might be struggling with this stuff, it's tragic, you know? So I hope maybe, you know, it's just artistically, he just wants to lay this out, you know, and this is more of a metaphor for something else. I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
see me go. Blew me up like a balloon and left me. I miss the times when I could go outside. I didn't have to watch my back out of the corner of my eye.
Paranoia
I didn't have
again.
to fake a smile and pose for pictures all the time. Can't even lie, miss when time was really mine.
All right, so I have loved this line since I heard it when I first got the albums. Oh, 1 second. All right, I have loved this line since I first heard this. What was that again? I miss when time was really mine. Any parent, 100% understands that line. And like, I don't understand it how he does, obviously, because he's kind of saying it in a different context. But when I hear it, it's just like, man, I do miss when time was really mine. I can't even go to the bathroom, for crying out loud, without one of the 4 children or the wife needing something from me. So, yep, I miss it. I miss when time was mine.
For pictures all the time, can't even lie, miss when time was really mine. Now I just belong to everybody else but me. These panic attacks are making it awful hard to breathe. Built a vocal booth inside the crib and stopped making beats. Don't even rap, I stand inside of it and scream. Like this is not what I...
Like just that all that stress needs to release it somehow. So he built this whole recording studio and it doesn't even go in there to rap. Just it's a nice soundproof place that he could scream and get his frustrations out without anyone else really knowing. So he can put on a smile, walk around like everything's fine. It's just,
Making beats, don't even rap, I stand inside of it and scream. Like this is not what I expected. I work my hands to the bone, and my anxiety is triggered by the apps on my phone. I tried deleting them so the internet would leave me alone, but the lack of attention made me feel worse than before.
Like, what a conundrum is that, man? How does he put that? Hold on, let me go back just so I get it right here.
And my anxiety is triggered by the apps on my phone.
My anxiety is triggered by the apps on my phone. Obviously he's posting to his socials and he's looking at the responses and he's, seeing how it's being perceived by the public, and then he's reading the hate, and he's, so that, and it's just a constant form of anxiety for him because he has to look at the numbers rolling in, look at the, so you have the social media aspect that that's triggering your anxiety, and then he says, so he tries deleting them, and I'm just not going to look at that stuff. It'll just all take care of itself. I'm not going to look at it. And the lack of attention, because he's, he knows he's getting the attention, but he's not seeing it, so he's not feeling it, and that has made him feel worse than before. So now he needs to get these apps back up, and it's just a crazy. What do you do? What do you do? Because he's gotten accustomed, because he receives a lot of love on his social medias. So he would obviously be drawing, positive energies from that. And now he's not getting that love. He's not getting that positive attention. He knows it's there, though. So it's weird. It's just weird. Weird conundrum to be in.
What I expected, I worked my hands to the bone, and my anxiety is triggered by the apps on my phone. I tried deleting them so the internet would leave me alone, but the lack of attention made me feel worse than before. I'm sick of it all, the internet watching me trip when I fall, embarrassed that everyone witnesses all my illnesses in real time. Man, I'm addicted to y'all. Rappers on Twitter.
Everybody witnesses his illnesses in real time, and that they watch when he trips and falls. Like, you just knowing that, that's another added layer of difficulty onto his, like I said, the problems that he already brought in with the alcoholism, stuff like that, before he even became Tom MacDonald. Now you're adding that you've set a bar and a standard, you've said things, and people, if you go back on that stuff, people are going to know, and the internet's going to laugh at you, and they're waiting for it to happen, and it's going to it's going to be a mess, and you're going to become a hypocrite. People are going to point that out. So he has the pressure of not even being able to be a fallible human, you know, because millions of people will see it, and they see his flaws when it happens. And he says that people are witnessing his mental illness in real time. He doesn't even have to, you know, the luxury of keeping that private. And it'd be awful. Like, it'd be awful. It would be awful to be in his shoes right now.
My fault. Embarrassed that everyone witnesses all. My illness isn't real time. Man, I'm addicted to y'all. Rappers on Twitter don't get me involved. I'm posing for photos with fans in the mall and dying inside, pretending I'm strong. I'm not a celebrity. I'm just calm.
It's the thing. At the end of the day, they're still people. You know, they're still a regular human being.
Watch me float away, well, I scream no. Every time I get close, they pull out their phones. Like maybe this time we can see them explode. Me up like a balloon and
Just looking for that viral moment.
they are throwing rocks cause they tryna poke holes. They wanna see me pop, they don't wanna see me blow. For the reason that I'm gone, they don't wanna see me go. Me up like a balloon and left. I missed the years when every Friday wasn't spent with my therapist. Then I realized I hated fame and accepted I'm scared of it. I got Ativan, Cipralex, Xanax, and Seroquel in a Tupperware container. I don't touch, I just stare at them. Breathing exercises.
And see, and that's the other thing, you know, he struggled with that stuff, and, you know, that's not healthy, man. You can't just keep that stuff right there so you can look at it. That's just driving you insane even more, man.
To help me to cope, but nothing works quite as good as a bottle of Jack and a smoke. I try to focus on my breath, but it gets stuck in my throat. This never happened back when I was young and happy and broke.
I never thought I'd be the rapper all these rappers trying to be. Posting 20 times a day, now I don't have no privacy. Meeting with these major label CEOs with giant teams. If y'all want to do business, why are y'all trying to lie to me? I'm bored of the fame. Every time it feels fresh again, I'm getting more of the same. Interviewers think they know who I am. They made up their mind before I explain. Well, because...
All right, so, you know, he's making up their mind about me before I can explain or whatever. I have watched a few interviews, and you can tell that the interviewer had a preconceived notion on who Tom was and what they were, what he was about and what he believed, and just the way that they were coming across. And it was a interviewer that I like and respect. You just knew that this guy doesn't even understand. He doesn't even understand who he's interviewing, and is kind of lumping them in with groups that's just not what Tom is, you know. So yeah, I've seen those interviews where they already have the picture of what Tom's supposed to be, and just based on, you know, a couple of songs that they've heard. Like, if you've only heard Fake Woke America, you know, People So Stupid and stuff like that, you don't know who Tom is. You don't. All right, so they've heard these few songs and they think they got him pegged, and he comes on these interviews and it's kind of awkward. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of awkward to watch. So I've seen that. I know exactly what he's talking about when he says that.
I'm getting more of the same. Interviewers think they know who I am. They made up their mind before I explain. Well, because you asked so nice, I guess I'll tell. Ain't been feeling too hot lately, Jim. Is there anything else? Great, cause lately every day I feel like I'm living in hell. I'm glad the music helps you, but I might really kill myself. When this magazine gets printed, can you send one to my house? I'd like to own a tiny piece of me like everybody else.
And that makes me feel like, you know. So, you know, and he said in other songs, I can't remember off the top of my head right now which song it was. No, it was an interview. I believe it was an interview, a little snippet of an interview I was watching, where he said, you know, he makes these songs. Was it him or was it another artist? It might not even have been Tom. Let me know, guys. You probably know. If you know, if it's Tom, you're going to know if he said it or not. Somebody at some point said, definitely an artist, said that, you know, they make a song and it's theirs. It's theirs till the moment, essentially, that they release it to the public. And then it becomes everybody's. You know, because everybody's going to have their own interpretation, and they're going to see it one way or the other, and they're going to pick it apart and take parts that they like, and, you know, they lose ownership, essentially, of the music as soon as they put it out for public consumption. And essentially, You know, that's what I'm doing. I listen to his songs and other artists' songs, and I say what I think it means, you know, what it means to me or how it makes me feel, you know, and it's kind of like I'm taking away, you know, some of their ownership, you know, a piece. I take a piece for myself along with everybody else, you know, even from people who listen to it and have that affect their, you know, they see it or hear it a certain way, you know, it's just weird. It is a lot of the stuff he is pointing out, like, it's just stuff that you wouldn't think about necessarily being a bad thing until you actually sit and think about it. You know, it's like he's saying, can I get that article so I can have a little tiny piece of me like everybody else? You know, it's this man.
To my house, I'd like to own a tiny piece of me like everybody else. Don't watch me float away, well, I scream no. Every time I get close, they pull out their phones. Like maybe this time we can see them explode. Blew me up like a balloon and let me go. They out throwing rocks cause they tryna poke holes. They wanna see me pop, they don't wanna see me blow.
And I haven't talked through the chorus or through the hook yet. I haven't, you know, to me, though, he's explaining how he's been blown up, all right? So he's like blowing up in the sense that he's getting big, right? And now that he's kind of floating and he's up, they're trying to poke holes because they want to see him. They don't want to see him pop. They don't want to see him blow. They want to see him explode, all right? They want to see him fail, basically. So they're blowing him up to you know, building him up to tear him down, essentially. And also, I think he is also like kind of referencing haters in public, people in public, just trying to get reactions off of them, or people online even trying to get reactions out of him, trying to piss him off until he explodes. Like, I think there's a few different things, and also just be the isolation of being famous, and you know, like there's a few different ways I think you can really take this chorus. You know, depending on kind of what part of the song you're listening to and what's kind of in your mind right then and there.
Cause they tryna poke holes. They wanna see me pop, they don't wanna see me blow. They're the reason that I'm gone, they don't wanna see me go. Blew me up like a balloon and left me.
It's a nice video. I mean, it's very tastefully done. Nice camera angles and all that. Nice little effects with the balloon head Tom. You know, like I said, I already liked the song. I already knew I was gonna like the song. So like I said, it's one of the at least top 10 on his 2 new albums, and that's what 19 and 16, 35 songs or whatever. So
by advertising on YouTube,
all right,
I grow my
that will be it, though. I guess that'll do it. That'll be the reaction. Middle-aged white guy is out. Peace.